Good morning. Well, I had a great video all set and planned, and I don't know what happened, but whatever happened, it didn't upload or too big. I don't know. So I'm doing this all over right now, real quickly. You're probably watching it right now, so that's great. So just a couple reminders. Number one, make sure you check in on the class forum. There's just a simple question there each day. Some of you already asked me about that today. Number two, wash your hands. Yeah, wash your hands. Study shows the biggest way to keep this thing from spreading and going out of control. Washing your hands, and don't hang out with anybody. So I'm just going to real quickly go through just a review of what we did before your break. I hope your break was great and you're not like going crazy, bored out of your minds yet. But so real quickly, we're just going to run through some stuff real fast, and then we'll get into some new stuff. And I've got an assignment for you to do. So here we go. Photosynthesis. I'm going to shrink myself here. Maybe. Oops. There we go. Okay. So photosynthesis, carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of light makes C6H12O6. Remember what that is? Glucose, right. Glucose plus oxygen. So we're taking 6 carbon dioxide plus 6 waters. It has to be light. We make glucose and we make oxygen. The leaves, this is where most of this photosynthesis happens. It's a site of gas exchange. Remember, we need carbon dioxide for this whole thing to happen. And we're producing oxygen and water vapor. So the leaves are where the CO2 comes in and the oxygen, the water vapor leaves. So I remember the very outermost layer of the leaf is called the epidermis, has a waxy cuticle that prevents water loss. It's transparent so light can come through, so photosynthesis can happen. And then on the other side, we have these little guys called stomata, or stoma is singular, and they're surrounded by guard cells. So the guard cells protect the water from losing water. Okay, they're like these stomata, like it says here. These are the doorway. And the guard cells, when there's lots of water, they swell and they open. When there's not a lot of water, they shrink and they deflate. And as they shrink and deflate, they block off those openings. Palisade layer, this top layer, man, these cells are packed together. Lots of chloroplasts, lots of photosynthesis going on here. Down here in this spongy layer, you'll notice that there's air spaces. Yep. That's where the carbon dioxide is stored. And this is where the gases, oxygen, water vapor, go so they can go out these guard cells. Once again, photosynthesis, carbon dioxide, water in the presence of light, glucose, and oxygen. Pretty big deal formula. Pretty big deal formula here. So some reactions are dependent on light. Some are not. So the light dependent, this is where light breaks apart water into hydrogen and oxygen. Remember, water is H2O, so the light breaks it apart into hydrogen and oxygen. The light independent reaction takes carbon dioxide and this hydrogen, and it makes this glucose that we've been talking about. Excess oxygen just goes out the leaf. Excess glucose, this is stored in roots or stored in cellulose. Cellulose is a sugar that's in the cell wall, okay? So excess glucose, it hangs on to that. The excess oxygen just goes away. Now, respiration, this is the opposite of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis makes energy, respiration releases energy. It happens in the mitochondria. Here's the formula for respiration. Glucose plus oxygen produces carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Remember, if we go this way, if we go from right to left, photosynthesis, left to right, respiration. So we're taking this sugar and releasing energy. So Why is respiration important? Because it's taking a usable form of, or it's changing glucose into a usable form of energy. Now, how about this? Do plants make oxygen or carbon dioxide? Do they make oxygen or do they make carbon dioxide? Well, they actually make both. They make oxygen during photosynthesis, carbon dioxide during respiration. What do they need energy for? Repairing themselves, making new cells, making new leaves, making new stems, making fruit, reproduction. We went through a lot of these things way back a long time ago. What are the needs of energy for living things? So reproduction, growth, development, repair, yeah, you got it. And this is just a simple comparison of photosynthesis and aerobic respiration. Stored, released. Water, CO2 needed, produced. Glucose, O2 produced, needed. Chlorophyll, mitochondria. All right. Tropisms, this is just a plant response to an external stimulus. Thigmotropism, phototropism, gravidotropism. I saw a tree just like this the other day. I'll probably take a picture of it and send it to you guys. But I saw a tree just like this the other day. Got knocked over by the wind, and then it turns and it keeps going up. You can see these little things growing in a petri dish. The roots are growing down, the stems are growing up. Positive gravidotropism, negative gravidotropism. Ethylene. This is for part. Well, it helps ripen fruit. So they don't pick bananas that are yellow. They pick bananas that are green. The ethylene helps them ripen. Even after you buy them at the store and bring them home, they help ripen. Ethylene also helps. Let me move this over a little more. Helps leaves fall off the stem. So ethylene causes a layer of cells to form between the leaf and the stem, causes the leaf to fall off. Auxins. So auxins help with phototropism, because on the underside of the stem, it's dark. Auxins move there. This causes cells to divide very quickly on the underside, causes them to bend and go towards the light. Cytokinins literally means foolish seedling, stimulates plant growth, stimulates germination. Cytokinins, this causes a rapid growth of cells. So if you spray cytokinins on fruit or on produce, it helps it stay fresher longer. Abscisic acid prevents cells from germinating, keeps buds from forming. You don't want buds on trees forming in the middle of winter because they'll die. So the abscisic acid is there and it prevents the buds from forming until the right conditions. Photoperiods, just a response to the amount of daylight or darkness. So we have long day plants. Let's see, long day plants, lettuce, radishes, Swiss chard, spinach. Short day plants, poinsettias, strawberries. Then there's day neutral plants, roses, dandelions. They don't really need any particular amount of light. Now this is all simplified because there are other factors that go into plants producing flowers, temperature, moisture. If those things aren't right, it won't produce a flower anyway. Okay, here we go. Here's the big stuff for today. So plant reproduction. So sexual reproduction is a sperm and an egg. Asexual is no sex cells. Seedless oranges or grapes. Good thing or a bad thing? For me, it's a good thing because I don't like seeds in my grapes, or I don't like seeds in my oranges. But how then do we get seedless orange trees or seedless grape vines? Basically, what you do is you take, once you get a fruit that produces, or a tree that produces fruit without seeds, you cut that off and then you graft it onto roots. And now this is just going to continue to produce seedless fruit forever. And if you want another tree, you just cut off another branch and put it on more roots. Potatoes reproduce asexually, and also grass in your yard reproduces asexually. So sexual reproduction, the sperm meets the egg, produces a completely new organism. How do they get together? Well, we're talking plants, wind, water, insects. Somehow you need to get the pollen and the egg together in a plant. So some of the female reproductive organs produce eggs. The male produces the pollen. This time of year, pollen is crazy bad because it's just trees and plants everywhere producing pollen right now. And so this pollen is trying to get to the female part of the eggs. Now, some plants only have female or male plants, or female or male flowers. Some might have both. So you need to have both organs. And holly, that's this guy down here at the bottom. Holly is an example of a plant that has male or female flowers. So the flowers we looked at in class before we all went home for the virus, those had both male and female structures. Holly does not. So the plant life cycle becomes when the pollen goes into the stigma, it goes down the style, goes to the ovary, and fertilizes this ovary, forming ovules. So plant life cycle, 2 stages. So during your life, all of your new cells are produced by mitosis. All of your cells are diploid. But plants have 2 stages. They have a gametophyte stage and they have a sporophyte stage. The gametophyte stage are haploid cells. Sporophyte stage are diploid cells. So the gametophyte stage, these are all haploid cells produced by meiosis, produce spores. Let's go back. I guess that's fine. So we can see here, the top half, this is the gametophyte stage, bottom half, sporophyte stage. So the gametophyte stage, spores divide, forming new plant structures. All of these structures are haploid. Okay, so some of these undergo cell division, some produce sex cells, or these gametes. So we have all of these spores, some of them undergo cell division, and now we have sex cells. So these all could form new gametophyte plants. When these form together, now they form a sporophyte stage and a sporophyte plant. So the sporophyte, this is diploid. It's after fertilization. Some of these cells undergo meiosis to begin the gametophyte stage. So these sporophytes, if they undergo meiosis, now they make spores. And then this makes the gametophyte stage. When some of these spores join together and fuse together, now they have a zygote, which is the sporophyte stage. So this is called alternation of generations. And again, you can see the same thing here. The diploid sporophyte stage, the gametophyte stage over here, the haploid gametophyte stage. Okay, let's go back. Now I've got something else here I want you to see. Okay, so here's your assignment. Here's your assignment, and this is in Moodle. I gotta hide myself. Okay, this is in Moodle. This is gonna be due on Friday. I want you to DLD, draw, label, describe, alternation of generations, describe haploid and diploid for moss and ferns. What's pollen? Where does it come from? What does it do? DLD, a gymnosperm, the life cycle. DLG, life cycle of an angiosperm. All right, so again, this is this assignment. This is in Moodle, okay? So that's in Moodle. Of course, all of these notes are also in Moodle, and you should probably be looking at these things. Make sure you're taking a look at the book as well. So that's all I have for today. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Don't forget to wash your hands. And that's all for now.